If you're a new life insurance agent or are just getting into life insurance and or final expense sales, then this video might just save you a lot of time and a whole lot of money. I'm Doug Massey, and today I'm going to share some information that I wish I knew back when I first got into the industry. Thing is, this stuff would have probably made my life a lot easier and probably saved my wife Mariana and myself thousands and thousands of dollars. And yes, a thumbs up would be appreciated, and we do recommend subscribing if you're new. We're putting out insurance sales training videos and final expense sales agent content like every week. The first thing that I would have to admit we did wrong was contracting with what I kind of felt like was a shady, multi-level marketing insurance cult-like agency. These guys promised us that we would have access to, the words they used, more exclusive leads than we would ever be able to work. And that ended up being a complete lie. And here's what I'm going to ask you to leave a comment below. Have you ever contracted with a multi-level marketing insurance agency? And if so, how was your experience? Please share below, good or bad. First off, it's important to do your due diligence and research. Does the insurance agency that you're looking at have really good Google reviews, and a lot of them? Do they have video testimonials of successful producing life insurance agents, like we do? And if you'd like a copy of our free new agent file that has sales materials that you'll absolutely want to use during whether you're selling face-to-face or doing telesales, just stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you how to get this bad boy for yourself. Let's talk commissions. If you're just starting out, there are a lot of agencies that will take advantage of your lack of knowledge. And what they tend to do is tell you that their 80% first-year commission level is absolutely normal for new agents. Some of these agency recruiters and managers will even suggest that an even lower first-year commission is normal and that everybody starts at these low levels even when they're paying their own way, paying for their own leads or generating their own leads on their own. Guys, it does not have to be this way. It's really not this way. Well, it kind of is, it isn't, but if you're paying for leads and you're getting minimum training, your first year commission levels for the main final expense and life insurance product should be right around 100 to 110%. And you should be getting 9 months advance monies for each sale and every sale that you make with these level products. Let me just say it, with the level products. Guaranteed issued life insurance only pays around 60 to 70%, maybe a little higher, depending on your situation. They usually either pay you as earned or a maximum of a 6 months advance. As far as I'm concerned, this is my opinion, anything less than that and you should be getting something in return like at least lead financing, or really maybe you're going into an office each day for like personalized one-on-one training along with ride-alongs with top producing life insurance agents. Meanwhile, they're actually paying for your leads. If you don't have money to invest into your business, you can find agencies that do have these subsidized lead programs. And since, think about it, guys, they're flipping the bill on your leads and your training, your commission level should be a lot less than normal. I mean, that makes sense. We're talking maybe like for the main products, the first year commission for those level products, more like 50 to 60%, not that 100%, not even near that. You have to be realistic about this. Again, I really do think a big part of it is doing your due diligence. Don't let these multi-level marketing insurance cults manipulate and mislead you like they did with us. And I hate to say it, in our industry, it's kind of normal to start at one agency and then end up contracting through like a different one when things don't go the way that you hoped. A lot of times the grass often looks greener. So it's important to have the ability to move your contract to a different agency. And with that being said, just make sure that you get in writing, at least like in an email up front, that if things don't work out for whatever reason, that the agency you are with will release your contracts, for all the carriers and won't have an issue with this. This is a simple process, but man, I hate to say it, unfortunately, the carriers allow for this unethical type of treatment of life insurance agencies when it comes to holding the contracts. The insurance carriers, they'll allow these companies to hold you hostage. make sure that you're confident that you're signing with a legitimate agency that will release you if and when you want to leave. The legitimate agencies like mine won't have an issue with releasing your contracts as long as you have no unsecured debt or retention issues, because this is the norm. Like, let me put it this way. If you've got a bunch of clients just falling off the books like crazy, I know what's going to happen. I'm not just going to release you to go do the same thing to somebody else. When you do bring this up to an agency manager, whom, I want to say you're considering working with, if they even hesitate, follow your instincts. Use your common sense. Again, anyone that won't guarantee your release in writing should probably be avoided at all costs, right? I mean, look, nobody wants to hear, oh, by the way, if things don't work out, are you going to release me? Nobody wants to hear that, but everybody should be able to do the right thing. Let's talk sales experience. Haha. What should you do if you know you're a talented sales professional? Like, that's just who you are. Or what should you do if you're kind of new to sales and maybe don't understand how straight line selling works, or the importance of being able to make a sales presentation that has a one-call close, or understanding the basics of taking an objection and simply making that part of the application process? My suggestion, if you've been in sales and sold at a high level in the past, whatever the industry was, that's not important. What is important is that you have that skill set. Now, if this is the case, I highly recommend investing into yourself financially. Avoid those free, subsidized lead companies at all costs. Honestly, look at your insurance sales business just like a real businessman or businesswoman would. Someone who's like opening up some type of a major business, a storefront or something. You should put aside at least a few $1,000s. Just make sure you work with somebody who has a proven system. This is important. It's got to make sense, and actually work for other professionals. Not just 5% of their agency, but like a good chunk of the agents. If you were opening that storefront, or your own restaurant, for example, you would be taking out a business loan. Let's not kid ourselves, most likely, right? And you'd likely, at least you'd be spending, I want to say $50,000 to maybe over $100,000 minimum, just so that you can end up really making the same kind of money that our top producing life insurance agents make. And with a business like this, you'll most likely be reinvesting just to stay open for the first year or two, with very little profit. For a fraction of that same investment. This is what I love about life insurance sales. The bang for the buck is huge in comparison. Again, that is if you're working a proven system and can actually sell. Let's say that you're new, or haven't ever had any type of, success at one-call closes and sales, or really the success was limited. Pick up books on selling, on sales, on people. Learn how to turn objections into opportunities and do the work on yourself. Getting into sales and just going out, door knocking leads is only going to be, well, I hate to say it, as effective as the agent doing the door knocking and making the presentations. Same for remote sales. With telesales, I don't care if the client calls in to you knowing they absolutely need the insurance. If you don't understand the basics of closing sales and overcoming objections, they will not only not buy from you, okay? But if they do, here's the thing. They'll get buyer's remorse immediately. They'll sense that you're not a professional, and now you're going to have real trouble. Look, you got to trust me on this. No one wants to buy anything from someone who doesn't come off as a true professional salesperson. The key is to develop the talent and skill set and understand that people will give you multiple objections before buying. And I hate to say it, but if you don't understand the value of turning those objections into opportunities to both A, build value in the product, and B, build trust and rapport with these people, you're going to be wasting your time and your money and will most likely fail. Learn your trade. Be prepared. When someone tells you that they need to think about it or speak with their kids first, that's the main objections we get, have a system in place to turn those objections into sales. Thing is, a lot of these will end up being your best sales and your best clients. If they don't give you an objection and they just feel like a laydown, those are the ones that scare me. If you can't do this, it's not the leads, trust me. It's you. There's no magic lead. Again, leads are only as good as the person working them. Now, there's one last important thing that I'd like to touch on really quick. Expectations. I have daily conversations with new agents, and one of the hugest, the biggest fails is when you've got these big expectations. Meanwhile, your work ethic or your financial investment doesn't even come close to matching that. Don't expect to earn $100,000 your first year if you're not ready to invest at least $1,000 per week into your business while working long, hard hours and putting in the time that it takes to learn that business. If you'd like a copy of the free new agent file that I mentioned back at the beginning of the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote final expense sales platform, we're talking the platform, the system that some of the highest producing agents in the world are using. This thing, you'll get 20 to 30 appointments per day if you got the money and you know what you're doing. Just email me at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, do your thing, and whatever happens, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.